My name is John Clark, John Clinton Clark. I was born in Southern California, grew up there for a few years, moved to Northern California. My father had joined the Air Force by then. He was during the Second World War, he was a Marine, Iwo Jima Marine, and that always stuck with me. I knew from early on I was always going to be a Marine. Then we moved to northern Indiana, just outside of Chicago, a town called East Chicago, Hammond. We lived on state line, we lived on Sibley. From there, father got stationed overseas, France. I was probably about 7 or 8, when we got moved to France. Stayed there for 3 years, in Lyon. Been to Paris, been on top of the Eiffel Tower. My little brother and I threw airplanes off the tower. Then we moved back to northern Indiana, and then I had my 14th birthday on the way out to California, where I did finished my junior high school years, and joined the Marine Corps. Why I joined the Marine Corps? Like I said, I always knew I was going to be a Marine. There wasn't any doubt about it. But going through high school, and the Vietnam was going on at that time, because I graduated in '67. Okay, but I knew I wasn't going to college. Didn't have the money, didn't have the grades. I wasn't going to college. So, and the draft was going on all the time, and I wanted to join the Marines because I wanted to be trained with people who got the best training in the world for this type of duty. So, and there was less draftees in the Marine Corps, but they did draft. So once I graduated from high school, that was a big relief that I got through it, and joined the Marine Corps. I was relieved that I was in after I joined, because I joined on the 10th of May. That's when I made the commitment, but didn't go active until the 28th of June. First day of boot camp, we were shipped from Los Angeles down to San Diego, where I went to boot camp. This is 1967. I thought I was going to be treated well because I was enlisted, and we did have some draftees on the bus. But they were bawling when the oath of office were given, because they didn't know they were going to the Marine Corps until the last minute. I thought it was funny. That was the first impression. Bus pulled up, and this monster comes through the door, and he starts screaming at the top of his voice, "If you're chewing gum, swallow it. If you're smoking, put them out. I want to see nothing but assholes and elbows out this door. Now move, move, move!" And everybody's screaming, hollering, trying to be the first one out the door. And there's 50-some people there. And we come flying out the door, and who's standing there but 3 more just like him. And we were told to go over and stand on the footprints, the yellow footprints, and assume the position of attention. So, of course, I ran over there with everybody else, and I'm standing there, and I felt a pack of cigarettes in my pocket, about to come out, and I'm, oh my God. Every time I took a breath, they came out a little bit further, and then they finally dropped. There was no way I was going to pick them up. From there, we went straight in to get haircuts, buzz cuts, of course. Being short, I'm at the end of the line. Those hair razors, they were hot by the time they got to me. That was my first hour in the Marine Corps on active duty. Well, of course, when I joined the Marine Corps, I was just 17, and your first rank is a private. I then went to some training and got promoted to PFC, E2, pay grade E2. Then Vietnam, I got promoted to Lance Corporal, which is E3, and then a Corporal E4. Corporal is the first rank of the non-commissioned officers, if you will. From there, after Vietnam, rotated, went to El Toro, walked through the door, and I had been promoted to sergeant, unbeknownst to me. From there, as an E5, I also made E6 a few years later, then got, after recruiter school, I was out on recruiting duty as an E7 when I got picked up for the warrant officer program, W1, W2. That was took 4 years to go from W1 to W2. Once I became a permanent W2, then I was eligible to put in for another officer program called Limited Duty Officer. I put in for that program, and I got picked up as a temporary LDO first lieutenant, getting paid as a first lieutenant. But my permanent rank was still W2. When I got promoted to W3, I also got picked up for captain, and so I was a temporary captain, permanent W3. Then a few years later after that, I got picked up for the next rank, which was a major, 04, and as a permanent W4. My retirement pay is based on 04 pay. The higher, the better. And so in 21 years, I got promoted 13 times. Early memories, how the Marines have changed my life. I suppose the high school that I went to was small, and there was a lot of criminals, a lot of car stealing going on. I was all a part of that. I would have been a hoodlum had I not joined the Marine Corps, but I did. And from that moment on, straight and narrow as far as the law is concerned. After boot camp, knowing that I made it through that, I knew my life was going to change and it was going to be nothing but positive. And I was bound and determined to have a good 4 years of active duty at that time. Another story about Vietnam, I was coming back towards my compound, just got caught out in an open field, an old Army area, and artillery started coming in. And so I jumped in this old horseshoe type trench, if you will, and which was about 4 foot deep. And immediately I knew I wasn't alone in that hole. And I looked down there and there's this biggest, damnedest rat I ever saw in my life. And she is snarling and carrying on. Well, yeah, I had my M16 with me, but I'm not about to shoot it off there. But there was some old tent poles laying there. They had metal tips on them. So I went hand-to-hand combat with this big old rat. I mean, then after I finally got her killed, I found out why she had a whole bunch of little babies right behind her. Well, they took them out just like that. That was my extent of hand-to-hand combat in Vietnam. I don't know if you'd call it a moment that changed the way I saw things, but I think once I came to the realization that I was really enjoying being a Marine, I enjoyed the job I was doing, I enjoyed the people that I was with, and I decided to re-enlist and make it a career and never look back. It was great all the way through it. I can't believe that it was 50 years ago that I joined the Marine Corps. 21 years active duty. My job, my military occupational specialty was dispersing, which was accounting, and some would call it accounting and finance. Basically what we did was the updated individual Marines' pay records, computed their pay, and made sure that they got on the payroll for the twice a month. That was in a nutshell. My whole career, from start to finish, save a tour on recruiting duty, had something to do with, that was my day job, if you will. But every Marine's a rifleman, and those skills, that training came into use in Vietnam. How would I like to be remembered? Whether it's Marine or my career after the Marine Corps, is a fair person. I tell people, don't ever lie to me. I will never lie to you about anything. If we don't have honesty, we have nothing. And I've always treated people fair, and I've taken every performance evaluation that I had ever had the honor to write on all the people that have worked for me over the years. I always gave them an honest, fair appraisal. And just being fair with people. Be treated like the old story, be treated how you want to be treated. And with respect, no matter what rank, every rank is important. Every rank is part of the whole. And once you're a Marine for life. Well, one of the most profound things that's happened to me started about 5 years ago when I met this woman right here, the love of my life.